Hey, what's up? It's your boy, the Golden Adonis, and today we're going to be talking about the Switch 2 pre-order extravaganza, craziness, chaos that took place last night. I probably will not have this video up the day after, but as I record this, it happened last night. I decided that I would throw my cap into the fray and try my hand at acquiring a Nintendo Switch 2 pre-order last night. Pre-orders went live at 12 o'clock Eastern. And I said, you know what? Why not? Why not try my hand at acquiring a Nintendo Switch 2? I had made sure I put money aside. I made sure that I prepared for it. And I watched some videos on how to properly, pre-order and stuff like that. So I felt like I would be prepared. And so I'm just going to talk about really quickly what my experience was like, what the chaos was like last night, and all of that good stuff. So let's just hop right into it. Pre-orders went live last night at 12 o'clock at all these major retailers. So Walmart, Best Buy, and Target all had their pre-orders live last night. And then GameStop had their pre-orders 11 o'clock a.m. the next day. So they all had different methods and ways to get the pre-orders, and I'm going to talk about what my experience was with each one and what I did to try and acquire one. So basically, a lot of people were having issues with the pre-orders. They were not, just talking about the general experience, it was a mess. It was a mess. It was a disaster. It was not easy to even try and get a pre-order. It was jumping through hoops of fire and hoping that you didn't get burned on your way through them. That's that's what they were like. I kind of prepared myself for that, right? Because I know in this day and age, you can't just expect to go online and get a pre-order because there's bots, there's scalpers. So I already knew what I was going to be getting myself into before I got into it. And so I figured I would prepare accordingly. So I said, all right, let me go to the major retailers and make sure that my accounts are good in terms of me logging in. I have my correct address. I have my cards on there, my payment methods, all that stuff. I wanted to make sure that all of that was squared away before I decided to even entertain this idea, because I didn't want to be doing a mad dash trying to figure out how I would be getting these pre-orders. And I was expecting the worst and preparing accordingly. My focus really was gonna be Target because that's right there by me. It's very close by. I have ordered a lot of stuff from Target before, and I figured it would just be a piece of cake just doing it through Target. I kind of wanted to do some research and just see which retailer would be the best one to pre-order from. And so I watched Kid and Krista, who previously used to work at Nintendo. They've been putting up a series of videos talking about their Nintendo pre-order experiences in the past, in general, what to expect from this new console's pre-order system. And they kind of laid it out and said, hey, this is where they're going to be probably trying to go for, and these are the things to expect, and these are the things to look out for, which I greatly appreciated because it gave me bigger and better insight on what I was going to do when it was my turn to try and snag a pre-order when that day finally arrived, which was, again, last night. So I want to say it was probably like 2 hours away from pre-order, and I set my alarm. And I'm like, all right, I'm setting my alarm at like 11:30, and I come across a video by this guy of the name Jake Randall. I guess he's having like a Nintendo Switch 2 stream, pre-order stream, but people are in the chat, and he's live, and he's talking about the Nintendo Switch 2 pre-orders and how to prepare for them and which retailers you should try first and prioritize and like the things to expect from each retailer. But I said, let me watch his video and see if that's going to help me somehow. There were tons of people on it getting ready to start pre-ordering, basically talking about each retailer and what to expect with the pre-orders, with Target and how they go about doing pre-orders, with Walmart and how they do it, and Best Buy. And he did touch on GameStop a little bit, but he said he would follow up on that the next day or in preparation for that at 11 a.m. Talked about Target and said you're going to have to do Target via the app mostly, and it'll be better to do it through the app. Make sure you do it through Apple Pay. All of these really great tips. And he went on to talk about Best Buy and we're getting in a queue, and the same thing for Walmart. So I feel pretty good about that. I said, all right, I'm going to stay in this stream and kind of just be surrounded by a bunch of other people who are trying to achieve the same thing that all these other people in this stream are trying to do. And just be in this community, be in this hype, be in this like feeling of, yes, we're all trying to get it, let's do it kind of situation. So I decided to stay on his stream and try my hand at trying to get a Switch 2 pre-order. Again, my focus was Target. So I made sure to target, and I had my app on the phone open, and I had the website open as well, getting ready to kind of just go in there and like order it, add it to the checkout, add it to the cart, do all that like really quickly. And again, his name is Jake Randall, and he's done this for the Nintendo, I believe he did it for the Nintendo Wii U. He did it for the PS5 as well, the PS5 launch. And a lot of people were successful, so he had a lot of really good tips. So I think for any console launch, if you really want to make sure you nail that pre-order, I would say go and follow Jake Randall and see how he goes about doing it. Because I have to say that his stream was very filled with a lot of knowledge and very comforting. Now he's preparing us, and 12 o'clock is rolling around. It's very close. It's 11:55 or so. So like I have all these windows open. There were a lot of valuable tips, and I feel for the people that didn't have someone that was this knowledgeable, because imagine if you're a parent and you're just trying to get a Switch and you're like, okay, the pre-orders go live and I'm gonna try and get a Switch, and then you just go and try to do it the regular way. You're gonna have a difficult time. And even with him being on the stream and kind of like telling people like the do's and the don'ts and like all these like beneficial ways to acquire a pre-order, it was still a very difficult and hectic situation and a hectic time. So I'm basically just gonna say what happened really quickly with all the different retailers. So Target instantly was down. It had a lot of issues, technical issues on the website, and then there were no real issues on the app. So that's why, you know, I was very encouraged to be on the website and also be on the app, because at least you can, if one's not working, the other one might be working. So I spent most of my time with my phone in my hand trying to go through the app. I was having incorrect address issues, payment issues. Eventually I started getting like, due to high traffic, you cannot add this to your cart, and all these different things. Mind you, Walmart is live and Best Buy is live as well, or supposed to be live, and I'll get to that in a minute. Once I see that I'm not having as much luck with the Target situation, I'm still prioritizing it because that's where I want to get it from. But I said, okay, time to pivot to Walmart and Best Buy. And the good thing about that Jake Randall's stream was that he was basically talking us through a lot of the things that were actually happening in real time. So again, Best Buy was supposed to go live along with the rest of them at 12 o'clock. It did not go live. That in itself was very frustrating and quite annoying for a lot of people who was expecting to get into Best Buy. And Best Buy had a great incentive where you would be getting a midnight release. Walmart had guaranteed 9 a.m. delivery, and Target didn't have nothing. That's the reason why I was pushing for Target, because I figured everyone would want that midnight and everyone would want that early, that same day, you know, delivery. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna do Target. It doesn't have a queue line. It's the old-fashioned way. I'm gonna hop in there, fight for it, and get it. That didn't happen. Walmart and Best Buy both had queue lines. So basically, you would get on, you hit the button, and it would put you in line for a queue, and you would just have to wait. Once you're in the line, do nothing. Just wait. Don't leave the line. No matter how long you have to wait, you're in the queue, just wait. And so a lot of people were just doing that, just waiting, hoping that they would eventually get taken to the page to be added to the checkout. So I'm now like, all right, let me pivot to Walmart. I go into Walmart. I didn't go into Walmart right away because, again, my focus was Target, which was a mistake. So I prioritized Target, decided to go to Walmart. The Best Buy is still not up. So I'm hedging all my bets into Walmart at this point, which is, I didn't really consider ordering from there, to be honest, but I figured I don't have a choice at this point. I'm trying. Nothing's happening. It's just a mess. I got to a point where I was able to successfully do the pre-order through Target, only to get a confirmation email saying that my order was canceled. At that point, I'm like, Target, you're done. It's over between us. You're null and void. You're in the GameStop category where I'm not even thinking about trying to pre-order through you. Target canceled mine already, and I'm like, I can't deal with this frustration anymore. Jake Randall mentioned the fact that these pre-orders sometimes will come in waves, and if it looks like you can't get in or you keep getting kicked out or whatever, there's probably like 20 minutes will pass, and then there'll be a new fresh wave of pre-order. I think the average consumer or the average person really would have just given up. Being in that situation with everyone who is trying really hard, people are chatting saying, I just got one. I got my pre-order through Target. I got my pre-order through Walmart. I got my like that kept a lot of us hanging on. It kept the hope alive. And so a lot of us stayed. We stayed for as long as we could because we figured if other people are getting it, why not me? And I'm in the line and I hope I'm next. Like that type of environment, I think created a huge hype and a cool hype around the event. You know, not everyone was going to get one, but people were getting it and we were seeing it in the chat, in the stream, in real time. So that kind of kept us wanting to stay on and wanting to be one of the people that were picked. And so that we did, and so that I did. The Best Buy queue did not become available until about 12:30. Even with that, he's like, it's not up yet, but just be patient, and as soon as it's up, I will say it out loud and let you guys know. As Best Buy went live, he mentioned it, and I'm like, all right, I already have my Best Buy information up, my card is updated, my payment methods, everything is cool. I'm gonna go into the Best Buy and put myself in that queue, and I did that faster than I did for the Walmart, so I figured, hey, I have a great shot here. It's Target starting to say it was sold out, which again, he made sure to shout out to everyone, so now a lot of people were pivoting to the other two retailers. But when he did that, a lot of people were still saying that Target was getting pre-orders out. People were still able to get from Target. So again, that goes back to not giving up because those pre-orders were coming in waves. They were not just like sold out and then that's it. Maybe like 20 minutes later after it was sold out, they were pushing out more pre-orders. So a lot of people who stuck with it and kept trying were able to successfully get through. I gave up on Target because it felt like the least guaranteed option. Needless to say, at this point, I'm super worried because I've been in a Walmart queue for going on an hour now, and I just got into the Best Buy one, and nobody is getting the Best Buy pre-orders. Like looking at the chat, and there's no shout outs, no one saying anything. It felt a little bit better about Best Buy because nobody was getting Best Buy, and as soon as it went live, I hopped into the line, so I felt like, okay, this might be a good one for me. And that went on for about an hour and like 30 something minutes about, I want to say. And then some people started saying they were getting Best Buy pre-orders, and I'm like, oh no, I'm not getting picked for it. I don't see my screen isn't changing. It just says wait here. And the worst part about the waiting was it didn't tell you what position you were in. It didn't tell you how much time you had left. So you're just sitting there into the void unknown of the Nintendo Switch 2 pre-order world, hoping that your screen refreshes and takes you to the checkout page. And people are still in the chat communicating if they're getting, if they're not, blah, blah, blah. And people are getting Best Buy pre-orders. They're going through, they're coming through. And I'm just like, man. And then eventually, Best Buy refreshed for me. But before that happened, I started to see people saying in the chat that Best Buy is kicking them out of the queue. They're refreshing the page and kicking them out of the queue, and then they have to rejoin the queue. And that was happening to people like 2 and 3 and 4 times. And I'm just sitting here like, it hasn't happened to me yet. Just don't refresh and kick me out where I now have to get back in line. And it basically puts you in a different order than where you were when you first queued up. So I saw my screen refresh, and maybe this is a good thing that it's asking me like my login information, my password and stuff. Maybe that means that I secured it and they need to know that it's me so that I can take it to the cart and purchase it. And I don't remember my password. I cannot for the life of me remember my password, and I'm like trying to keep calm, but like losing it inside. And another tip that he gave, again, this guy is really good. He's really amazing at this. He's like, if you have to get a confirmation email or sent to you, or confirmation of like your identity or something sent to you, have it sent to your phone number, not your email, because if you send it to your email, that might be coming delayed. And then if you need to be able to check out, you're not going to be able to because you need the code to log into your account, and it's better you send it to your phone. That comes in more instantly. So I did that. I had it gone to my phone, the code, because I couldn't remember my password. And I did not get a code to my phone. I did not get a code to my phone. I had it sent to my email. I eventually get a code from my email. I put it in, and the next screen is the pre-order. It is the pre-order checkout screen on Best Buy. And when I tell you, I click, 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 click. And again, this is on my PC. So I click, 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 get there as quickly as I can, put it in the checkout, send it out, cross my fingers and hope that it doesn't come up with some weird error message of, well, too late, pre-orders are sold out, or, oh, sorry, payment not accepted, or something weird. I was just hoping it would just go through, and then it goes through. And I could not tell you the sense of relief that I felt after that was all said and done. And I'm like, I secured my Switch to pre-order through Best Buy, meaning midnight release. I get to get it. I get to experience it. I did put in for Nintendo as well, but even I heard with that, that's not even a guarantee. Even if you meet the specifications or the requirements that they need, which is to have been, I think, a Nintendo Online member for like a year or a certain amount of hours on Switch, and like have to agree to some agreement and some terms. You need to have checked off all those boxes, and they might consider you. That's not even guaranteed that you'll be picked through Nintendo. At this point, I don't think that I'm going to be getting it through Nintendo, because there's no guarantee that you'll even be getting that on launch day, from what I heard as well. I'll be going to Best Buy, I'll be doing the midnight release, I'll be picking it up in person, and I'm just really excited and blessed and very lucky, because that stream was so encouraging, even for the people that didn't get it. And even if I didn't get one, I still would have took that experience away and felt like, you know what, I didn't get one, but like everyone was trying and everyone was shouting it out. Everyone was saying, this one is sold out, this one is live, try this one, try doing this. He even said, try another browser, internet browser. There were so many suggestions and things thrown out there to help one another. And even the people that didn't get one, it was like, you know, just hold on and be patient. So luckily for me stumbling upon that stream, it really helped keep my morale high. And again, I could not imagine what it would be like for a parent or someone who had no idea and didn't know the different ways to go and like place the pre-order through the mobile, through the app, through the website, through the this, through the that. There was so much going on, so much chaos, a lot of uncertainty, not a lot of clarification, and I was able to be in a group with people who was going through the same thing and made that experience a lot less stressful than it could have been. They need to do something about these pre-order situations, and for the people who aren't able to secure one, and if you're pissed, you have every right to be, because it was a frustrating experience. And I hope that in the future, they do find a way to make pre-orders for consoles in general a lot easier. It just was very good to have that extra support through that stream. Again, Jake Randall, Kid and Krista as well. They have really, you know, they used to work for Nintendo and they had a lot of good insight. So shout out to Kid and Krista, shout out to Jake Randall. Because of them, I was able to have the patience and the perseverance to acquire a Nintendo Switch 2 pre-order. I hope that those who did not get a chance to pre-order, I hope that they either do another wave of pre-orders before release, or they find another way to make it easier for people to get this system. Times are already hard. Stinking pre-order shouldn't be as hard too. With all that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing, blessed, and golden day.